This is a video I'm working on today. It's actually April 3rd, 2012. This is the Work, Achievements, Ideas, Art, Graphics, and Photography. My name is Inta Mitterbach, and I'm on the shores of Lake Erie in Cuyahoga County of the United States, more specifically in Lakewood, Ohio, and this is brought to you by Comprehensive Reality Miss Erie Productions. Presently, I'm a doctoral student for public policy in the public policy program for international non-governmental organizations. That's through Walden University, and it's done entirely online with the exception of some residencies that are done throughout the United States and actually throughout the world. I have a GED and an AS, a BA, and an MBA. Those are my academic credentials. And my skills include ideas development, designer business development, transnational business solutions development, writing, research, photography, graphics, and video production. The areas of specialization that I have worked on in my academic career are art, science, geography, and business. My education also includes the University of Phoenix, where I received my MBA, the University of Akron, where I received bachelor's in geography, Bachelor of Arts in Geography. The MBA was actually a concentration in global management. At Cleveland State University, I did some general coursework, and I also have an Associate of Science where I concentrated on physics and astronomy, Cuyahoga Community College in the Cleveland area. And I've written some articles for student newspapers, and I graduated Phi Theta Kappa. Well, actually, I was a member of Phi Theta Kappa, the International Honor Society for two-year colleges, and I graduated cum laude from with my associate degree. I've attended Cleveland State University continuing education classes, taken HTML. I also attended the University of Alabama in Huntsville, where I did general coursework and also did some continuing ed classes in conversational Russian and tennis, golf, things like that. I've also taken basic programming at the Huntsville Center for Technology. I have a GED, which is the General Education Diploma. I attended St. Augustine Academy High School mostly, and before completing my GED test, and which is the General Education degree, or not degree, but diploma. And some of the awards and commendations that I've received include the University of Akron Dean's List, Phi Theta Kappa Scholarship, the Oldschlager Award, which was a leadership scholarship, the National Dean's List, the Cuyahoga Community College Outstanding Achievement Award for a 4.0 GPA. I received an award from the United States Army for outstanding service at Roving Sands exercises in 1996. I was a Girl Scout leader and received an award for outstanding service. I was also selected for the Ohio State Fair Band in 1980 when I was in high school. And I also competed for the youth music competition back in junior high school, where I received 2 medals. In addition to that, back in elementary school, I was selected for the Cleveland Youth Flight School in a small group of kids that got to learn about becoming a pilot and flying. Some of the papers that I've written include Anthropologists as Spies, Approaches to Global Strategy for Global Expansion, the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, also known as ANWR, Asia POWs, Prisoners of War, Blind Obedience, which is Obey at Any Cost, Computational Projects, which was a speech that I did, Crawford County, Ohio, which was a geographic study, the Cuyahoga Valley National Park, which was a GPS location and sound level recording project. I also did a paper on drafting compass, which was basically a technical paper on a mechanism description, and I also did an earthquake risk assessment, among other papers. Some of the other papers that I've written are on Iceland, the Interstate 77 roadside terrain composition map, a paper on actually a speech on lasers, presentation on mass extinction, the Military Geographic Institute of Chile, where I did some research about that organization, a paper on Myanmar, which was an economic profile, also Nuke Greenland, which was a geographic profile, pollution in the Cuyahoga River, which was a 40-year assessment, a road traverse for sound barriers, which was the identification of terrain along the roadside. Should America expand police powers to deal with crime or terrorism, which was a speech. among other things. As far as career summary, the areas of business that I have worked in include education, newspaper media, housing, and racial equality, restaurant, food service, photographics, studios, lab and retail, fashion, social services, advertising, automobile and truck rental, retail, inventory and data collection, computer science, engineering, manufacturing, marketing, the U.S. Defense, weapons systems analysis, real estate, legal office, tourism, insurance, sales, architecture, at the Church of Christ headquarters, aeronautics and entertainment and the arts, nonprofit organizations. Some of the places that I've worked at include Alabama Temporary and Technical Services, the Arts Marketing, which was in Cleveland for the Cleveland Symphony Orchestra, BTAS, which was a NASA Glenn Research Center, Visitors Center, museum contractor, budget car and truck renter, CAS Incorporated, which did weapons systems analysis, Caswell Massey, which was a retail bath and body products type store, the Cleveland Museum of Natural History, the Cleveland Press newspaper, Clifton Lunch Diner, Cuyahoga County Department of Human Services, also known as the Welfare Agency, some other things, and Electro Design Manufacturing, which was the manufacturer for tow weapons systems, also known as pocket rockets. Employer's Choice, which was a temporary agency, the Nautica Queen, which was a fine dining cruise ship, Photos to Go, the Plain Dealer newspaper, route carrier, Playhouse Square, Progressive Urban Real Estate, Prudential Healthcare, Puffin Publishing, a company that I started to do desktop publishing, Regis Inventory and Richard Fleischman Architects, Total Aquarium, the United Church of Christ, and the University of Alabama in Huntsville, where I worked on the student newspaper. In the bottom right-hand corner, you can see what I worked on for my MBA final project. It was called the Capstone Project, and I combined the United States, Ethiopia, and Thailand to provide solutions for Ethiopia, their areas of concern being economics and health, poverty, and education also, and I pulled that together and tried to get the assistance from Thailand for Ethiopia, and by basically incorporating the assistance of the United States to pull that together. The history of positions, well, I just missed that. The professional development that I have done in terms of classes and workshops include fundraising, judiciary reform, proposal writing, Lotus Notes, materials requirements planning, total quality management, ESD, electrostatic discharge. You've got to know that. Duran quality assurance, and that was at Electro Design Manufacturing. Some of the photos that I'm showing in the bottom left-hand corner are photographs that I've taken as executive director for the World Center Place, and traveling around and trying to give the world a better look at the United States and what's going on here, what it really looks like. I've been a little clueless about what the rest of the world looks like, and what's out there, transportation systems, economic systems, what do the houses on any normal residential area look like, what do the cars look like, are there even roadways, and can you travel from Cleveland down to Patagonia? Do you need visas, and will your car make it, and do you have just how do you do that, and is it possible? Some of the people that I'd like to thank are listed to the bottom right here of the screen, and some of the software applications that I've used include Adobe Photoshop, AOL, ArcMap, lots of them. I've actually used about 35, 40 different software applications, and Pictures, Pixel Paint, Primavera, Quattro Pro, Razor's Edge, Swift, Joule, WordPerfect, Xerox, Ventura Publisher, Xtree, Macromedia Director, Access, DOS, Excel, Internet Explorer. I had some fun writing some little batch programs in BASIC and using DOS and getting the computer to do things like play music and with just the I guess it was just the tones of the computer tones, if you identify those numerically. What else? Here's some of the published printed materials I've done: address labels, reports. Just basically everything, I think, as far as printed materials. I don't know what I haven't done. Proposals, resumes, newsletters, calendars, directories, flowcharts, flyers, greeting cards, technical procedures, invitations, letterhead, annual reports, birth announcements, briefing charts. Briefing charts was kind of a big one. I did some of those for CAS Incorporated and got to run those around the country and to the Pentagon, and that was kind of a big deal. Thank you to everyone. How much more do we have here? Basically, I'm looking for a job. I'm willing to relocate. That's optional. I don't know whose option that is. Maybe your option or my option. I'm willing to travel to distant, unknown, God-forsaken places. I say that affectionately. That, of course, is also optional. And my little signature statement is, have almanac, will travel. As I said, I have a GED, an AS, a BA, and an MBA, and I have a PhD in progress. The concentrations, again, are art, music, science, geography, and business. Some of the volunteer work that I have done include the AIDS Computational Research Project, Chaffee Elementary School, Teachers Aid, Library Aid, Cleveland Natural History Museum Retail Clerk, Cleveland League of Women Voters, Desktop Publishing, Cleveland Public Theater, set painting and usher, Cleveland Women's Foundation, computer support, a bunch of other things also. Here's some more: laser interferometer, gravitational wave observatory. That's LIGO, and that was a gravitational wave observatory project in Germany. One of the World Year of Physics Einstein at Home projects that was being conducted online. I participated with that. Kind of interesting computational projects online to assist with things like AIDS and other health issues by basically tapping into computer power all over the world and tying those computers together so you increase the volume of information that can be processed in solving and analyzing. I have a couple written works: Poetic Palimony and Two Moons Travel Toward the Equator. Those are both copyrighted officially with the U.S. Copyright Office, and Poetic Palimony is a collection of poems. I really didn't do much poetry, and I tried, and actually some of it came out okay, and I kind of like some of it. Some of it's kind of raunchy. Two Moons Travel Toward the Equator is a poem with illustrations. It's 25 pages, 25 illustrations, 25 lines long. And I really like that one, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. I've had a few ideas, but those are a couple of my accomplishments that I'm sort of proud of. And I actually tried to do some illustration, and it turned out quite well. The painting in the background is actually a painting that my aunt did, and that's kind of in memory of her. That's a painting of my grandmother's eyes, and that's just actually a photo of a section of that painting. It's not the entire painting, but it's my photo, and it's kind of in memory of my aunt, Inara Spieth. And as far as other interests and skills that I have: advertising, clerical skills, meeting minutes, action tracking, computers, cooking and entertaining, database development, desktop publishing, the fine arts, fundraising, geography, illustration, multimedia, and I've done some work in animation. I have music skills. I've played the clarinet, piano, and played with a bunch of instruments. I like museums. I can handle office machines. They always want to know, can you handle office machines? Yeah, I can manage that. I'd like to get my hands on the biggest computer in the world, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that at one point, and still am very interested in computers. And And I'm still wondering who has the biggest computer and where it is. I'm very interested in photography, spend some time with that, and some of it actually turns out pretty good. I've spent some time painting, and I have some background and knowledge of procurement, contracts, and proposals. I know sign language, American, just the alphabet, and that's it. And I've even taught some people sign language. There are some other skills I have, but that's that. As far as travel goes, I consider that to be an asset because all the places I've gone to, and I've gone to a lot of places, are places that I'm familiar with and I would say very fond of. And I can write about those places and compare those places and recall those places and give you an idea and write about those places. And so, as I said, that maybe this seems a bit ridiculous to provide all of this list of all these places: Adirondack Mountains, Adriatic Mountains, Akron, Fenton Glass, Florence, the Cumberland Caverns, the International Museum of Science, all these places that I've gone to. And I don't know if this is going to come out clearly, if it'll be in focus, but I've been to a lot of places and I can write about those places. So as I said, that's an asset. Here's some more. The New Orleans Aquarium. I don't know if that's been rebuilt since the hurricane. The Mediterranean Sea, KOA campgrounds, Noccalula Falls, Nuremberg, the Pacific Ocean, Panama City Beach, Pittsburgh, Punta Gorda, have you been there? The Sioux Falls Zoo, the Iron Maiden, the Tar Pits, the Terminal Tower. These are all great places. I've photographed many of them. I've written about some of them, and I pull those out of my brain and incorporate them into my work, my student papers, articles that I've written. This is Two Moons Gravitate Toward the Equator. This is the book that I wrote, the illustrated book that has the 25 illustrations. These are my illustrations. One of the things that happened was I had worked for a defense contractor and I didn't have anything to pull from in terms of my work and what my capabilities were, because basically when you work for someone, even if you put in your 200%, you're not going to take that with you and be able to show them your portfolio. So this was sort of my attempt to try to really try to do something that I could demonstrate what my abilities, skills, talents, capabilities were. These are my illustrations. It was kind of an exercise in pulling my brain out and putting it on paper. And I initially wrote a poem, and then I took that poem apart line by line and illustrated it. And so that's that. I also have a work called, as I mentioned previously, Poetic Palimony, which is a work which is a collection of 25 or maybe 35 poems, and I have plans in the future to illustrate each one of those poems, maybe even line by line, as I have done with this one. And so that's kind of a big project for the future. I have some other things going on with World Center Place, which is a nonprofit organization that I founded in 2009, which is a nonprofit organization. It's supposed to be basically a collaboration of geographers from all over the world, which collaborate over the internet to provide Global Geographic Research Services. And World Center Place also exists to try to promote an interest in global issues and geography. And so I've got that. I'm trying to figure out, it was founded in 2009, and I haven't figured out how to not necessarily make money. It's not designed to make money. It's a nonprofit organization. It's designed to provide a service for people, not only in Ohio or the United States, but around the world, as a kind of a public service. And what I need to do is figure out how to make enough money so that it can exist, and to provide maybe some means of paying geographers. Even with a nonprofit, it has to pay for its expenses, which includes the salary and wages of the employees or the people doing the work that make up the organization that the organization provides. And I've got some ideas about that, and so that's kind of ongoing. And I have a lot of places that I'd like to go to and photograph. One of the things that I'd like to do in terms of World Center Place is figure out how to generate enough money to pay for exploring different places around the world so that those can be published online to show the world. And I did do that to some degree locally, going to places and set up a website, which is www.worldcenterplace.com. And no, I'm sorry, it's not .com, it's .org, a nonprofit organization. worldcenterplace.org, and that was set up so that people could take a look at my neighborhood in terms of not only my local neighborhood but my national neighborhood and my global neighborhood. And that's about it. I'm looking for a job. If you have any interest in supporting that effort, please let me know. My email address is mitterbach@aol.com, and my telephone number is 216-712-4365.